Hey, my true tellers, how are you guys doing? Welcome to Unapologetic Real Talk. Guys, I hope you can hear me real good. Let me see. Okay, now I can hear myself. So, guys, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Welcome to Unapologetic Real Talk. As you can see right here, we are switching it up. Yes, this right here is an educational purpose only, okay? So, like I said, this right here is not to be racist. This right here is for critical thinkers. And if you think that this is not the channel for you, then you're going to have to find a channel that's going to go ahead and um, tickle you or make sure that it lines up with what your talking points are. So as you can see right here, we already know that this time was coming, guys. As the late Malcolm X would say, the chickens are coming home to roost. So as you can see right here by the title, um, I want to go ahead and talk about. I think I can't think what's his name, but I know they represent China, where they went ahead and they came out and said that China is like 5,000-year-old country. 5,000, and compared to America, before they went ahead and did what they did. But America. before the settlers came on to that land, it was no more than 248 years. Yes, 248 years compared to China and all the rest of the countries out there is the oldest. And when it comes to America, America is the youngest, but the most powerful, the youngest but the most powerful. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get to the bottom of all this right here. Like I said there and say nothing is new under the sun. The first going to be last and the last going to be first. So like I said, do you think that the Most High God was going to continue allowing what you see to happen? No. So like I said, he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying, because this channel right here is for critical thinkers. Okay. So don't let the numbers fool you guys. Trust me. Don't let the numbers fool you, because I promise you it's not in the numbers. Because when you speak truth, honey, trust me, your word will go further than what you ever think. So as you can see right here, we're going to go ahead and talk about America 248 years old versus China. China is 5,000 years. And how did a young America outpace ancient China? Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to go ahead and talk about. And I was sitting here and I was thinking, I said that when it comes to, you remember when they was trying to go ahead and ban TikTok, and most definitely, maybe because of what you see right now is coming out. Like I said, when it comes to China, China is pulling the sheets. They are pulling the sheets. And like I say, when it comes to uh, Donald Trump, I was telling it to someone, what the devil can meant for bad, God can turn it around for his good. Sometimes it takes tragedy. Sometimes it takes the things that we would normally do, in order to wake us up. So I truly believe that this right here, this is what I call a wake up call, because like I said, what the devil meant for bad, God can turn it around for good. We think that just because, it's not who we pick, God may have allowed all this to happen to wake us up. And I truly believe this right here is what I call a wake up call. Okay. So, like I said, hey, all we have to do is just sit on the wall, like I've been saying for a long, long time, and just sit back and watch, and because we already know that this time was going to come. Okay. So, I truly believe that this right here, this is a wake up call. That's why I always tell people, I say, don't get rid of, the Bible, don't get rid of it. All you need is someone that knows exactly how to rightfully divide it. When it comes to all the stuff that we see right now, the history and most of stuff that is in the Bible, like I sit there and say, they put themselves in it because they want to be God. But now you sitting there seeing what the Most High God is doing, what he's doing. He is ripping the sheets off of them. And as you can see right here, with this picture right here. Let me see if I can go ahead and make it a little bigger. So, like I said, when it comes to America, they have power, but they don't take accountability because, like I said there and say, they think in their eyes what they are doing is right. They call good evil and evil good because, like I said, the devil would never take accountability of what he's doing. But all this right here, all this right here is prophecy. Guys, I've been telling you guys all before all this had happened. I sat there and say, embrace yourself, prepare yourself, be good stewards, because it's going to be an economic war that's going to break out. We thinking that, oh, it's going to be a war where, the usual, no, it's going to be a trade war. These people was going to attack the economy. They're going to attack things that, that we love the most. Like I say, this is all about materialistic. That's why I tell you, I've been telling you guys for a very long time. I said that you can never build a solid foundation off a material possession. You can never build a solid foundation off a material possession. That's like building a house on sinking sand. Come out of her, leave this stuff alone because you cannot take it to the grave. Like I say, you could never take material possession. I never saw a U-Haul go to the grave. You can't take it with you. All that stuff gonna rot. Someone gonna come around and steal it. So why are you breaking the bank? We supposed to be good stewards. We supposed to be leaving legacies down to our children's children. Now, if I'm start talking nonsense, guys, tell me, stop me, and say, "Oh, old lady D, you talking nonsense." Like I say, all this stuff right here. is at a push of a button, right in the comfort of your home. If you want to go and do a fact check of everything that I'm saying, go and sit there and start researching. Like the Bible said there, say, our people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. And they know that we are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. They know that if they put it in a book, that's why I said there and say, don't take all this stuff as face value. We speak in truth. We're not speaking something that they took a pen and they went ahead and revised. When it comes to the Bible, it may go over your head, but I promise you tomorrow you're going to get it. What you're seeing right now that's in the Bible is only prophecies, things that's going to come. We going to tell our story. And when we tell our story, who can tell it better than them? And that's real talk. So as you can see right here, let me go ahead and show you this picture right here. And I've been talking about this picture for a very, very long time, not knowing that now this picture will become viral. Okay. Yes. Not knowing that this picture, it will become viral. When I used to show you guys this picture right here, let me see if y'all can see when you see China, India, Africa, which is a lot more. I told you guys, I think it was like maybe about 2 weeks ago. I said, I saw in a dream, I saw that the entire world, the entire country was going to turn their backs on America. Even their airlines going to turn their backs on America. I told you that. I told you that. Like I said, when the Most High God speak to me, trust me, you can take it to the bank. I told you that. I said that the entire world was going to turn their backs on America because America has sins. America's sins has reached the highest heaven. Just to say, when it comes to America, America is one of the youngest countries in the world. But when it comes to the economy, it is number one for now. Number one for now because they thought that their dollars was like no one could come against the dollars. No one could come against the dollars. Like I said, in order for that dollar to be powerful, it's going to have people to come and work. You see what I'm saying? Without people working and being enslaved and the immigrants, trust me, I'm going somewhere with this. The dollar would not mean nothing. It wouldn't mean nothing. But they use that against us. It's like addiction. It's like a person on drugs. Once you give them what they need, a fix, they're gonna keep coming back for more. Where they will sell their own soul, they'll sell their own mama, throw their own parents under the bus for a dollar. That's why the Bible said they say when it comes to the dollar is the root of all evil. I promise you, I'm going somewhere with this. So, guys, like I said, when you come on, if you check out the replay, I be trying to sit there and just do videos, but for some reason I can't do no videos. I like to come in and do unedited content, even though, like I said there and see, I may have just a little few, but that's all right. Because, like I said, one can put 500 a flight, two can put thousands a flight. So just imagine. So, like I said, it's not in the numbers, okay? So let me go ahead and read the copyright disclaimer, making sure that I get that out the way. Um, I need to put another one up because I most definitely is not going to read all that right there. But let me go ahead and post up the copyright disclaimer because, like I say, this right here is a educational. I'm not here to teach, but I'm here to sit there and fulfill. I'm here to sit there and tell you what's already out there. All the stuff that I'm saying right now was already spoken. It's just that we have to have an ear to hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. So I'm not here to teach. See, a lot of people, they want to go around and they want to teach. It's already been fulfilled. It's already been spoken. So all we seeing right now, we seeing the manifestation. Now, guys, some of you guys may get this by tomorrow, okay? So let me see if I can go ahead and see the copyright disclaimer because I am not going to read all that, okay? So let me see where I'm at. So the copyright disclaimer is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use of purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. So again, guys, make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content. And also, if you feel led, you are not obligated to go ahead and cash out Real Talk 985. I promise you, honey, you're going to be thankful. You're going to be thankful that you are planting on good grounds. It may look like, oh my God, what is she talking about? What is she talking about? But I promise you, if it does not come to pass, then you come back and you hold it against me. But this right here, all this right here is coming to pass. And that's real talk, unapologetic and nine buys. Okay. So as I said right here, this right here is for educational purpose only. Okay. So I see Stylist Jill is in the house. She says, hey, Lady D, I'm here. Real conversation and real content. Absolutely. Like I said, honey, it's time for us to sit there and shake off of these grave clothes. And it's time for us to come out of her. It's time for us to wake the hell up because they know exactly what keep us asleep. They know that we are people, we are the chosen ones. We are the ones who think a lot. We build so much, we creating everything. Look at all the stuff that we created. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the stuff that we have created before I go ahead and get into all my commentary. Let's go ahead and talk about all the stuff that we have created. If we would have owned the patent, listen to me, my sister. If we would have owned the patent, they would have been looking at us like the gods that we are, because we are the gods of the Most High God on earth. They would have been looking at us as gods because of all the stuff that we have built, and they are afraid. They are afraid when we come together and we start thinking, because we already know iron sharpens iron, and if we come together, we know that we will put them to run. Okay, they know we will put them to run. That's why they don't want us to wake up. They put all that distraction, reality shows, entertainment, football. They put all that stuff. The minute when they see us start thinking, oh, we coming together, then you're gonna sit there and see one of those silly sheeps. They done went ahead and fall, and we done forgot about all the real stuff, all the hell that is all around us. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make 101 videos of our silly sheep, these entertainers. They don't fall. All that is a distraction. These people are what I call crafty counselors. They are crafty counselors. They know exactly what makes us think and what makes us move. They don't even know how to think. They don't know how to think. They are some very nosy people. Very nosy, but cunning and manipulative. But the thing about it is that we don't know who we are. And that's why we can be able to sell our birthrights for a bowl of beans and take their history and believe their history. Do you think that the same ones, just like the late Malcolm X, what did he once say? Let's see what Malcolm X, like I said, honey, they didn't like Malcolm X. They didn't like him. That's why they don't talk about him, because he know that one thing about him, honey. He's not going to sit there and allow them to railroad him. What did he say? What did the late Malcolm X say? Only a fool will let his enemy teach his children. So we going around there and we sitting there not knowing how to rightfully divide the word, and we looking at their word as face value, looking for something to pop out of the sky. That's what they want us. They want us to look at something that's going to pop out of the sky, not knowing that it's right here amongst the scattered sheep. But it's when we wake up, we are still asleep. I was talking to one of the Israelite brothers, and like I said, these people are Bible thumpers. You can put a hole in the Bible, and these people would tell you exactly what is missing. Because, like I said, they are what they call Bible thumpers, But like I said, when we wake the hell up, we are one. That's the one. They told you that it was individual. That's why they had us looking in the sky, but we are one. When we come together, even Satan will tremble. And that's real talk. So it's time for us to organize, and it's time for us to mobilize. So let me go ahead and read this right here, show you this right quick. And then I'm going to go ahead and get into all my commentary, because like I said, I truly believe that this is a prophetic word. And many times I feel like, Lord, I just don't want to come on, but he said there and say, you don't want to be like Jonah in the Bible. And like I say, some of this stuff is allegories, okay? But it's happening today because they prophecy. They just put themselves in it. You might get that by tomorrow, okay? Like I said, ain't no babies in here. I am talking to grown folks, 18 and up. No more excuses, okay? But We want to go this place. But God said there, say no, just like Jonah wanted to go to Nineveh. When God said there and told him to go to Tarshish, he thought that the people was not worthy, and when it came to David, when David wanted to count his army, you know, but God said, don't worry about the numbers. Because like I said, we are God's chosen people. We are God's chosen people. So let me go ahead. I think I had showed you guys this right here. This is not what I want to show you, but while I'm pulling it up, I might as well. I remember it was like a couple of months ago when I had made this picture right here. And I was asking people, I was asking my subscribers, the ones that had came on my live. I say, could you break this picture down? I said I was willing to give someone $50 if they can go ahead and break this picture down. Nobody couldn't break it down. See, in this picture right here, God is telling the black melanated God, it's time for you to rise up and get into your rightful position. That's what I wanted to hear someone to say. It's time for the black melanated God to rise up and get in his rightful position. Because when it comes to our black woman, our black goddesses, some of us right now, we are married to what I call the government. And the reason why we are married to the government because they had taken the black man out of the house, because they know when they take the black man out of the house, then it's going to become dysfunctional. Because in the beginning, like I said, there is saying, and I'm not talking about, what we read, I'm talking about what we are living. In the beginning, the Most High God made male and female. And when you take uh, the female or you take the male out of the home, then you're going to get the function. And so right now, the government, the crafty counselors, that's what we're going to call them, the crafty counselors, the power that be, what they have done was they have taken our women, because when you take in the women, then you're going to tear the whole house down. So they have taken our women and took virtuous women, virtuous goddess, and they had taken them and they had made what you see right now, like a Cardi B, a Suki Hana, and all these rappers that's twerking and half dressed. They have made them like that. You see what I'm saying? Where you see right now, you see the queen, the goddess, had turned into what you call, we can't even recognize who she is. But we're going to call her the Samaritan woman. We're going to call her the Samaritan woman. Because inside of the Samaritan woman, when Jesus went to the well and when she ran there, thought that, men was going to come to the well, but not knowing that the Messiah was going to be there. It was a setup. Because she thought that just because of what the crafty counselors had turned her into, that she was going to go ahead and flirt with the Messiah. But he told her about some living water that she would never thirst again. And once she got delivered, she said there, she went and told all the men that she slept with, I know about a man that told me all about myself. And I'm paraphrasing it. But sometimes we need someone to stir the gifts that's inside of us. It's already in us, because what it says, train up a child in the way that they should go, so when they get old, it won't depart. So just because you might sit there and see Sister Cantaloupe out there on the corner, but Sister Cantaloupe was trained up when she was a child. All she needs somebody right now to come and stir it up, raise up, black man. It's time for you to rise up. It's time for you to rise up and get back into your rightful throne. So what you're seeing right now, we are in what we call the belly of the whale. We are still asleep. But there is a Jesse root. There is a Jesse root that's ready to come forth. And the only reason why we still asleep, because we can't take our hands off of these people's stuff. But God, the Most High God, had raised up people that is not afraid of these giants, what we call giants, because giants still fall, even though they may be the powerful country in the world, but they know your stance. And what we see right now, all on TikTok. But before I go ahead and show you some of these clips, let me go ahead and show you this right here, because see, some of this stuff, we still asleep. So, we might sit there and say, oh, what is Lady D talking about? Because I only can relate to you guys when we talk about reality shows. I only can relate to you when we putting our foot on our brother's neck, or when it's football. I only can relate to you guys. Because some of us, like I always tell you guys, we don't know how to relate to anyone, because we sit on this soapbox and watch these entertainers. Hollywood is another beast. We're gonna expose that. We don't know what it feel like to go out there and touch grass, which is a part of nature. That's another story by itself. So let me go ahead and let's show you this right here, because we are God, and God is everything that you see from the four corners of this earth. Everything that you see, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. It's ours. We built it. We built it. I've been telling you guys from day one, every time when I come on, if we dig down in the crust of this earth, we will see a whole new world. A whole new world. And the sad thing about it is that they did all this no more than 102 years. This not old. This is new. How can just a small group of people can overturn an entire planet? You might as well say 1/3 of the planet. But we already know that's all Bible scriptures. It's all being fulfilled. We already know when it comes to the Bible. You might sit there and say, oh, when she talk about the Bible, I am fulfilling it. I'm not speaking of a written word. I'm speaking of a spoken word that already has been spoken. But when we speak it, what they do, they either unalive you, they put you in prison, or they shut you out completely. That's why I sit there and say, what the devil meant for bad, God can turn it around for the good, because they wanted to shut us up. No such thing as freedom of speech. But now we got someone, he don't even know what he's doing. He don't know that it's a setup. All you have to do is put a executive order in front of him and a ink pen. He just gonna sign. Don't know what he's signing. He don't know what he's signing. Like I said, all we have to do is sit back and eat our popcorn and let them destroy themselves, because that's exactly what they are doing. Because we are the chosen ones, whether they like it or not. And like I said, you're going to soon see. So let me go ahead and show you this right here, because like I said, we build everything. We are the only ones that's the thinking. But every time when we get up, all the way from the beginning, from our music, everything, they came and they took it because they thought that they were superior, entitled. They don't take accountability of what they do.
For hundreds of years, we've been the most hated. But within that hatred comes the hypocrisy of loving our culture. You've made trillions off of our motherfucking culture. You know that. You've made money off our culture. Let's be real. 100%. You've made money off our culture. White musicians, all of them have made money off of black culture. All of rock, all of jazz, motherfuckers, all the shit we created from the oppression and the abuse and the rape and the putting down of us. We create blues, jazz, rock and roll, reggae, ska. We invent all of that shit. And to top it off, we invent all the shit that you all use. From the video game cartridge, Henry Lawson, huh? We got the pacemaker, Otis Boynton. We have the late Dr. Bath, who created the laser eye surgery. We have Dr. Gladys, who's still alive, who's almost 80 years old, who created GPS.
So if we owned all that, Why today we don't have anything to show for it? If we built all that, see, that's the part that really gets me. If we built all this, why we don't own anything? Because, like I said, the kinkerworms, the palmer worms, the locusts, the caterpillars, all of them come and eat the children's bread. But now this generation is say enough is enough. Enough is enough. This generation is not going to be like our parents and like our forefathers that's going to allow these kinkerworms and these palmer worms, these locusts and these caterpillars to continue eating up the children's bread. Carmela Anthony, Rosa Parks, you can't tell me to get out of my seat. Who are you to tell me to move? Who gave you the authority? Who gave you the authority? Hmm? Like I said, God is raising up, and I'm talking about the Most High God, is raising up a Joshua generation that have said enough is enough. Hey, Yanita, how are you doing? How are you doing? Yes. So let's go ahead. Let's go, and we're going to break this down. Like I said, we're going to break it down where even a child can understand. This picture been there for a very, very long, which I'm going to break it down to you. China, India, Africa, and you see at the bottom, let me see if I can go ahead and pull this out. You see at the bottom, you're going to see America, and you're going to see Britons, the imperialists. Let's go ahead and let me see if I can move this out the way. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can pull this out the way right here. So you see all that, which I'm going to break it down where even a child can understand. I'm in my lane. This is what I love doing, and, you might call it teaching, but I don't call it teaching. I call it prophecies being fulfilled. It's already was out there. I can't take credit of somebody else. That's called someone else intellectual property. All I could sit there and just stir the gift. That's what I'm doing, stirring the gift. Our forefathers already been telling us about this. This already has been spoken. It's just that we have fallen asleep. It's time for us to wake the hell up. I've been telling you. I told you guys from day one. What did I tell you? I said the world, even their own allies, is going to turn their backs on them. Okay, let's go there. I want to break this one down first. Let me break this down first because, oh my God, you just don't know. I just love it. I just love it because who would have thought, who would have thought I would be living to sit there and see all this stuff taking place? Oh my God. Let's go ahead and talk about this picture right here. Let's talk about this picture. This been out for so long. But let's go ahead and talk about this right here. As you can see, China, India, Africa, and you see where it says the two men at the bottom with the whip. You see the US imperialists, that's the US, and that's British. So right there, this picture right here been out since this says, just check out this 1925. This has been out since 1925. This was a prediction what was going to happen, and you seen it right now. It is manifesting right now in 2025. This picture been drawn in 1925 by Bob Miner, titled "One Day They Will Wake Up." Let me hear it say it again. One day they will wake up. One day they will wake up, which conveyed a powerful prediction about shifting global power dynamics. It portrays China, India, and Africa as sleeping giants, strong and populous, yes, dominated by the Western imperialists. You see? This cartoon message become particularly striking when viewed in 2024, almost a century later. Africa, with its rapid population growth and resources, is increasing influential in global politics. And I've been telling you guys for a long time when it comes to Africa. I sit there and say Africa, you guys may not understand because some of you guys still have that colonized mindset or looking at me as a woman. Like I said, I am a nobody telling somebody about everybody, because this is not about Dottie Squatty or anybody. This is about unity. It's about bringing us together so we can be that one. They divided us because they know once we divided, then they could be able to conquer us. But I already had told you when it comes to Africa, I say Africa is the tent that belongs to the Most High God. We was already here from the four corners of this earth, not just hundreds of years ago. You see, we've been here. On the sixth day, he said there and said he made man, and he said it was good. So we've been here as long as the heaven and earth been here. We've been here. We've been here. And when I say when it comes to Africa, Africa is the tent that he took from this entire planet, and he put aside for himself. Africa is the breadbasket of everything that exists. If Africa would shut their doors right now, no one would exist. No one could even survive. These people went in and called the scramble, which we'll talk about that. I talked about it before, how every country, every nation came and they took everything out of Africa that was not nailed down. And we had our own president of the United States, Donald Trump, 1 year has said Africa was nothing but an S-hole. Well, how did Africa get an S-hole? Because you dug down to the crust of the earth, to the crust of hell, to get everything that was not nailed down. All their minerals, all their resources, cocoa beans, everything, diamonds, everything. I even talked about the diamond, that big Culligan diamond that was on Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth. She said there and said when she put the crown on, her neck would hurt because that crown was not for you. It was for the melanated goddess. The melanated goddess. That's why I said there and I tell you people. I said there and I tell you people all the time. I said there and say, stop sitting there robbing Peter to pay Paul. Stop sitting there putting all of your resources, all of your eggs in one basket in something that is about to collapse. Babylon, your kingdom is about to fall down. How many times I told you, be good stewards when it comes to your money. Be good stewards. All you have to do is just sit back and just watch this train wreck, because that's exactly what it's about to be. Yanita says, I'm doing good. Thank you very much. So like I said, guys, let me go ahead and put this on again. Don't get mad with the messenger. Don't get mad with the messenger, because this all right here is for education purpose only, okay? Educational purpose only. But you guys might have remembered when I had put this thumbnail. You guys remember when I put this thumbnail right here? I had put this thumbnail because I saw it all in the spirit way before all this had happened. I saw economic warfare. That's why I said there and I told you about the book of Revelation. It's going to take a day wages to even buy. And that's scripture. It's being fulfilled. A day wages to buy even a loaf of bread. At one time, I told you guys before, make sure, you go ahead and share this information. Share this information. You don't have to like me. Like I say, it's much bigger than me. Share this information. Don't just hold it for yourself. Because I promise you, when one plant, somebody else going to come around and water it, and God is going to give the increase. But I told you guys, I say be good stewards when it comes to your money, because I saw this economic warfare. Because the Most High God had heard his people cry, how can you tear down and put out the same people that built this country? How did a young country, 248 years old, very young country, can be so powerful? Because it was built off the backs of slaves, blood, sweat, immigrants. And once you feel like, oh, I don't need them no more, let's go ahead and kick them out. But the Most High God said there, say that your sins had reached the highest heaven. Your sins has reached the highest heaven. So, like I said, You guys may not understand the way that the Most High God works. Like I say, his thoughts and his ways are higher than ours. He don't think the way that we think. It was a reason why that when it came to Kamala Harris and she was not in that seat, God would have his enemies to put your enemies in the seat because your enemies is the ones that's going to wake the hell up out of you. We wouldn't be even talking about this. We would still be robbing a Peter to pay Paul. We would still be in financial bondage, buying uh, designer purses and designer clothes for a ridiculous price. Found out when it comes to the Birkin bags and all these name brand clothes, uh, Birkins like 39,000, almost $40,000 for one purse. For one purse, when the ones that was selling it to you was getting it for no more than maybe $1,400. Oh my God! And when I thought about this, I thought about this girl Tanya on Married to Medicine when she had a party because she purchased finally her first Birkin bag, broke the bank for a Birkin bag, her husband's money because it sure wasn't her money because she don't work. Had a party to celebrate a Birkin bag. I wonder how she feel like now. Feel like a freaking tailhole. That's why I sit there and say all this right here was meant to wake us the hell up because of materialistic. We are very materialistic people. And I promise you, if this wouldn't have happened, we would have been in financial debt, which some of us already now, which we would have been back into slavery. Like I said, they say when it comes to slavery, the Most High God already told me about this. And you might not want to hear it. You might not want to hear it. But when it comes to slavery, let me see, I write down everything that the Most High God He gives to me. But when it comes to slavery, slavery ain't nothing but a prisoner of war. Slavery was nothing but a prisoner of war, a prisoner of war. We've been here. We've been here from the beginning, and we're gonna be till the end because we are Alpha and Omega. We've been through the four corners of the earth. We already was here. Where they came from, I don't know, but China knows where they came from. China knows where they came from because China is a 5,000-year-old country. They know where they came from, popped out of nowhere. China know because China made them. Some of you guys might get this by tomorrow. So how are you going to sit there and put a high tariff on other countries, especially when it comes to China? How can you sit there and you close the doors on China and put a high price on China when China made everything? What if China take the pow-pows that they put in your hands? What if China take the pow-pows and take them out your hands because the pow-pows are like your Bible? Take the pow-pows away from you, then you wouldn't even know how to survive because that's how you got us on our knees. Yes, China. China in the 1500s, the late 1500s was the ones that made guns, made gunpowder. Go and search it, research it for yourself. China made gunpowder. How it ended up in their hands, only China knows. And just like China ripping the sheets off of all the other stuff when it comes to the material stuff, the economy, the economic, China going to expose where they came from. And this is not being racist, guys, because I know my God does not lead me wrong, guys. Hey, Sassy Brown says, good afternoon. Happy Tuesday. Also, my girl Starlet says, come on, speak the truth. I'm here for all of it. We need to do is sit back and watch it unfold. And it is unfolding, my girl. It is unfolding. That's why I said there and say, honey, I am not going nowhere. I'm in my lane because I see the outcome. Yanita says that the only thing I ask God is for good health, absolutely good health, and that you be able to sit there and sustain. But God sat there and said that He's going to give you everything that you need everything that you need. You're going to be able to see it, and your children's children going to see it, because we've been crying for so long and say, Lord, how long? We've been crying for this day. All I say right now, you don't have to do a new thing. You don't have to do nothing, but just sit on the wall. Just sit on the wall and be patient, because they're going to end up destroying themselves. So let's go ahead and let's show this right here. I love it. I'm not going to tell you I love it. Let's go ahead and show this right here.
There was no United States, and we survived. And
Wait, hold on. Let's read this one first, and then we're gonna get to that right there. Hold on. Let's go ahead and read this one first. Let me put my glasses on, because when it comes to uh I might be pronouncing it wrong. It's a country, a little town, a rural place in Kenya. It's called Nairobi, and that's the same place where Bishop Nathaniel, the Hebrew Israelites had went, and they went ahead and stoned him. But now they have a woman. They have a woman president, okay, and that's in Nairobi, Namibia. Let me see, Namibis, Namibia. So that is where the first president in Africa. She has reportedly ordered the deportation of over 500 Americans, stating if Africans need visa to enter the USA, then Americans must also need visas to enter Namibia, Namibia. And I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Next time, I promise you I won't get it wrong. But this is what the female president, see, like I said, in the last days, the Most High God say he's raising up male and female, where your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, see dreams, and see vision. God is raising up male and female. So right there, and also I think it's in the book of Jeremiah, where it says that a woman shall compass a man. And when I say a woman shall compass a man, don't get me wrong, because like I said, what you're seeing right now is Bible prophecies. We're not going to sit there and think that we're going to be above the man. That would never happen, because that's not of order. But we're going to put, just like I showed you that picture, we're going to put our black melanated God back on his throne where he belongs. Amen. But right here, like I said, I've been telling you guys for a long, long time. I say, if Africa would shut the doors, like I said, they gonna feel it. When Africa wake up, the whole world gonna feel it. And what she said there, and she said, and you know, they'll tell us, don't go to Africa. Africa ain't nothing but an S-hole, but they can't stay out of it, because they know that's where all the diamonds, the minerals, they take all, even the designer clothes that we break in the bank, even when it comes to these purses, these Birkin purses, the leather, all that comes out of Africa. Yes, all the Versace and the Fendi, the Gucci, those patterns came out of Africa. And the first thing they'd say, they was borrowing. How the hell you gonna borrow something out of Africa? And these people, some of them still living in straw houses and mud houses, and you guys living in sky rises apartments. Are we sitting there, we supporting stuff that's already ours? You see, the chickens are coming home to roost. Cock-a-doodle-doo. The chickens are coming home to roost. But right here, the president, she said that if Trump going to deport all of her people out of the United States, then when the ones that's in our state digging up all our minerals, taking all of our resources, then they're going to have to get the heck out of it. And if they do want to come back, they're going to need a visa. You see? Come on, tell the truth. Yeah, Tanya. Ain't that sad? She said Tanya, that's on Married to Medicine, had purchased a Birkin bag for $20,000. $20,000, a Birkin bag, which we're going to go ahead and show the clip on that right there. A Birkin bag for $20,000. And now China sitting there, open up the gateways and say, if you want a Birkin bag, you're going to get it for the same price that these high-end stores on Hollywood Boulevard or wherever they are, you going in. Y'all gonna get it for the same price that they got it. And now China sitting there, they saying that, oh, they were saying if you go down there and you get all that stuff cheap, then once you hit, American soil, you're gonna have to pay the taxes. So now China is saying we're gonna show you exactly how you can get all that, and you don't even have to worry about paying any taxes of America. So they're trying to make sure that they're going to try to corner the market. But like I said, they say America is one of the richest country in the world. Well, was, and the youngest one. But how they got there, we're going to talk about it. Now, I may not finish it today, but I promise you, honey, I'm going to finish this. But just like Gail Francis said, that when it came to Tanya, and God is, when it comes to Tanya, even though that's a reality show, but still of all, these people show a snippet of what they are doing. And I truly believe that she went out there and purchased that Birkin bag for $20,000. And she got a doctor have never been comfortable to lay his head, because she's from one house to another house to another house and another house, and they're going to continue doing it until he said there, either put his foot down or get rid of her. Okay. And that's real talks. Hey, Sassy says, if it was me, that bag would have been sitting right there. Absolutely. And that's why I tell you, I tell you guys all the time, you can never build a solid foundation off of material possession. That's like building a house on sinking sand. So let's go ahead and let's talk about how, when it comes to
States wants to bully China, we will 5,000.
Hold on. Let's go ahead and we're going to talk about China. China's speaking up right now, guys. Like I said, the curtains have been ripped. You have been exposed. Your sins has reached the highest heavens. And that's why I told you guys, we don't have to do anything but sit back on the wall and just watch. Just watch. Just watch. So let's go ahead and listen to this right here. And like I said, all this right here, making sure that I'm in the copyright. So let me go ahead and read it again, guys. Where I'm at. The copyright disclaimer is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. So again, guys, make sure you go ahead and hit like and comment for more unapologetic content. And all this right here is for educational purpose only. This is not being racist. This is sitting there, like I say, when it comes to our people say enough is enough. Okay. Yes, indeed. So let's go ahead and listen to some of this right here.
5,000 years, most of the time, there was no United States, and we survived. Right. And if the United States wants to bully China, we will deal with the situation without the United States. And we expect to survive for another 5,000 years.
This scenario, to use your metaphor, the US has the bigger gun. And so China ends up having more to lose from this trade war, doesn't it?
So that's just to show you, like I said, we don't do our research. Now, for this reporter to sit there and say that when it comes to America, America has the biggest, which she was using as a metaphor, America has the biggest gun, and saying, America is powerful. America is a giant. America is Goliath. But we already know Goliaths do fall, okay? We already know what's going to happen, okay? So like I said, there is say, and even if they got the biggest pow-pows or whatever she was trying to say, even if it was a metaphor or allegory, I don't know what it was. Still of all, it was made by China.
It can't sustain the loss of 15% of its export market, i.e. what you export to the US.
Not at all. China is fully prepared to fight to the very end because the world is big enough that the United States is not the totality of the market in the world. So if the United States wants to go in that direction of completely shutting itself out of the China market, be my guest.
Yeah, and China will lose the US market, which, as I've said, is 15%.
We don't care. We don't care. China has been here for 5,000 years. Most of the time, there was no United States, and we survived. Right. And if the United States wants to bully China, we will deal with the situation without the United States. And we expect to survive for another 5,000 years.
This scenario, to use your metaphor.
So let's go ahead and let's break it down. Like I said, what I said earlier, what the devil meant for bad, God would turn it around for your good. Because like I said, they thought that they are untouchable. Don't take no accountability. No accountability. They will ride off of your backs and take no accountability. What the late Malcolm X said again, the chickens are coming home to roost. So we're going to go ahead and talk about this picture. This picture, like I said, this is a powerful picture, very powerful picture. When it comes to all the stuff that we see is happening right now, this was already prophesied. This was already foreseen. All you're seeing right now is seeing that it's being manifestation. That's what you see in the manifestation. Yamini says that yes, I am from Panama. So now some of the designers of some men clothes, they stole it from the native Panama Republicans. Absolutely, just about everything. Like I said, they say one guy was going back and forth with me, and when I said there and I told him, I say, tell me what your culture is. What did you guys invented? What did you guys create? Tell me your culture. You can't tell me your culture. You can't tell your religion. Can't tell us nothing, but maybe religion, because we're not religious people anyway. You know, something that they went ahead and they crafted up, but I'm going to stick a pin in that for now. Okay. Yep, America is a consuming country, but the sad thing about it is that we knee deep in it as well, because we spending trillions of dollars just within the Black community. We spend almost 1.8 trillion. You might as well say $2 trillion a year. We pour into that system. We the one pour into that system. Like I said, the only reason why America is one of the most powerful country in the world, because without them using us like a runaway slave and bringing in migrants, America would never have been number one. How can America, only 248-year-old and one of the most powerful country in the world when it comes to the economy? Because they had free labor. They had free labor. That's why. Once it's under 800 tax, no tax. Okay, so let's go ahead and listen to this right quick, okay? And like I said, all this right here is for educational purpose only. This is not being racist. This right here is True Tellers. We are critical thinkers, and everything right here is at a push of a button. All you have to do is go and research that information. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, pray, and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways. Okay, so it's time for us to start educating. Stop taking their word as face value. So let's go ahead and listen to this right here.
We see the three bullies over. I told you that this picture was drawn in 1925. We're in 2024, so this is about to be 100 years that this picture was drawn. The artist's name was Robert Berkeley, but he went by Bob Miner. This drawing is called The Balance of Forces. Almost 100 years later to the dot, and look at what's happening. We see the three bullies over here: U.S. imperialism, we see the French, and we also see the British. We've been running on their systems and their ideologies and their principles for centuries. Now we're here almost 100 years later, and China, India, and Africa, and even Russia has teamed up. The dollar is over and done with, finito. There's a crash that's impending any minute now, and the U.S. keeps on sailing like there's not a storm and a tsunami that's coming. It's pretty wild that we still all gotta get up and just handle our business like if nothing is happening. They've been bullies for far too long, and now the balance of forces have to happen. That's just nature. That's just the law of God. That's just how it gotta go. It just blows my mind that things take time. It's a gradual thing. 100 years later, and look at what's about to happen. This drawing is prophecy.
That's all you see right now. All you seeing right now is prophecies. What you seeing right now is prophecies, and they put everything in our way to keep us distracted, because they know when we come together, when we start thinking, like I said, we will be a force to be reckoned with. They don't want us to think. They don't want us to come together, because they know when we wake up, then they know that their kingdom will fall, okay? They know their kingdom will fall. So let's go ahead and see if I can pull some of this right here up. I saw this right here on TikTok. Let me see if it's going to let me pull this up. But like I say, guys, I'm not going to tell you no lie. I love it. I knew that this time was going to come. So let me see if I can pull this up right here. So I went ahead and mute the music, but I want you guys to see this right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see if you can see it. I want you to show. This is all the strips, I guess, in Beverly Hills, of all the high end clothes and the designer purses. We've been breaking our neck, wishing, praying, to be wealthy, or come into a little money. We don't even have to be wealthy, because the minute we come in money, we want to sit there and go give it back into the power that be. But all these high ends that were selling these Birkin bags and all these designer clothes, like I said, these people been ripping us off. You might as well come out and say these people been ripping us off. And now China is sitting there letting the head out of the bag, because Trump the went ahead and pissed them off. And now they're trying to tell you, hey, look, y'all been paying thousands and thousands of dollars for all these designers, these high-end designer clothes, and all the while we were selling it to them for pennies on the dollars. Let's go ahead and listen to this one right here. Now, this right here, let me see if you can hear it. She's coming out, and because people are saying, even if you go to China, which I pray that we don't go to China and buy no material stuff, because like I said, these people are crafty and manipulative. None of them have our best interest. Like I said, we are the only ones have nowhere, just like the foxes says in the Bible, we have nowhere to lay our heads. So, once they take them out, then who you think they coming after next? You see what I'm saying? So all we have to do is just sit back and let them do whatever they doing to each other. Okay. Like I said, the Most High God got this, but she is telling you, you can come down there to China and you can purchase all of the same designer stuff. And I'm going to show you, or, you don't even have to come to China. You can purchase it online, and they're going to tell you exactly how to get all those products to your home. But like I said, we are right now what I call end times. It's time for us to be good stewards. Instead of us buying material stuff to put on our back, we should be out there buying land. We should be, while the stock market is down, learn how to go ahead and get a hold of that as well. Do stuff that we can be able to leave legacies down for our children's children. Okay, let's stay away from all this material stuff. But let me let you hear this.
To the US, it's very simple. You can log into GoNest to obtain your warehouse address. In China, just instruct your supplier to ship the goods to the address. Next, we will inspect the goods, handle custom duties, and provide door-to-door delivery service from China to anywhere in the world.
Well, I'll be damned. First, the Birkins being sold on live. Now they're giving tutorials on how to get your stuff shipped from China straight to your door, babes.
Like I said, what the devil meant for bad, God would turn it around for good. Hey, they thought that they was going to sit there and harm, other people, because in their mind, they really don't know their history. Their history has been so whitewashed, where it had them feel like they was, superior, and not knowing that all that stuff was just a facade. It wasn't even real, but they had in their mind that they were king on top of the world. But now, when it comes to all these different countries right now, they giving them a wake-up call. So what you see right now is nothing but a wake-up call. Gail says, I am taking a pause on all of this, exposing the high and stuff seems like a setup somehow. Also, she said, I know one thing, China has been helping the Caribbeans with new hospitals and infrastructure projects. Absolutely. Like I said, when it came to America, when they were out there, sending Salvation, Red Cross and all this other stuff, they wasn't really building up. All that stuff was just there to set up, just like they did in the beginning, sending missionaries, preaching Christianity and all this. All that stuff was a setup, just they can get close to those people, resources, and their minerals. Now they sit there and saying, we don't let you in, and all you guys doing is you taking. We don't see anything that you building. But like I said, when it comes to all of the other countries, China, Japan, Russia, Africa have all the sources. Africa have everything that they need to build their own infrastructure, build their own house builders, their own schools, because most likely they're using their resources and just selling it back to them. So they really don't need nobody. Africa really don't need nobody. And that's why I like this president from Burkina Faso, when they was trying to trick him by wants to give him money to build 200 mosques because he's a Muslim. He said, no. If you're going to give me that money, let's go ahead and get some businesses, some schools, so we can go ahead and create jobs. I bet you, he took that deal back. He probably said that and say, shoot, these people waking up. And that's what we're doing right now. We are waking up. This generation, this is what you call right here, a Joshua generation that say they have had enough is enough. Stylist Jill said, if you notice, none of these top designers came out to say it was a lie. Hold your dollars, Black people. Absolutely. And we've been preaching this. We've been on the highest mountains and we've been preaching this. Keep your money in your pockets. Because all this right here, and I'm going to break it down to you guys, all this right here is all about power. All about power. All this, what you see, is all about power. And what we've been doing, we've been pouring trillions of dollars. We would have never known that we was in a financial bondage. And once we sit there and we run out of all of our money and we be in highest debt, we're going to be back what we call modern day slavery. Like I said there and say, all this right here is a prisoner of war. Sometimes I think, hey, we were already here. How they say we came on a boat and came on America. No, we were already here. Some of us was already here. But they put us to sleep. And they still trying to put us to sleep today. But the clock has struck zero. The clock has struck zero. Their time is out. And that's real talk. So let me see if I can go ahead and pull this up. And after that, I can go ahead and close it up. But I love it. I ain't going to tell you no lie, guys. I love it. So make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content, because this right here, this is in my lane. I love talking about this. I love talking about history. I love talking about my spirituality, because I know right here, all this right here is what you call a spiritual warfare. A spiritual warfare. And do you think that the Most High God is going to allow our people to continue suffering, allow our people to continue crying? And how long, God? Like I said, all we have to do right now is just stay in position. Don't let these people continue putting us to sleep, because what you see right now, how they did it all for free labor, enslaving, brought these immigrants in here, thousands and thousands of immigrants in here to build up all what they have, while they can live rich in mansions off the back of free labor. And that's why I sit there and say the love of money can be the root of all evil. But God sit there and say, look, you're not going to sit there and leave the money alone. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have other countries to come and crash it. And that's exactly what you see right now. But when it comes to all this right here, you are seeing what I call a great falling away. This right here is a great falling away. And I'm going to read some of it, but not all of it. But these are the scriptures, and like I say, when it comes to scriptures and when it comes to the Bible, they already has been prophesied, and we are not talking about the written word. We are talking about the spoken word. And God is going to reveal it to us, where we're going to be able to tell our story. Like I say, who can tell it better than the ones that's has been through it. So all this stuff right here is happening right now. Just look around. You're going to see a great falling away. And what you're seeing right now, a great falling away. So all this right here is line upon line and precepts against precepts. Second Thessalonians, where it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for the day shall not come except that there come a falling away first. And that man of sin will be revealed, the son of prediction. Who is the son of prediction? Who is the son of prediction? It's those crafty counselors that have used our people, suppress, oppress, enslaved our people. And it says right here, let no man deceive you by any means. So right now, as today, let no man deceive you, for the day shall not come except there be a great falling away. So all this stuff, when it comes to Donald Trump, when it comes to how you seen other countries have turned their backs, all this stuff had to happen. It had to happen in order to wake us the hell up. And that's real talk. So, guys, you all be blessed. And thank you all for coming in and participating, guys. Thank you very much because I promise you, this is what I love. I really love it. Like I said, when it comes to, all that stuff that we be watching, all that entertainment stuff like that, all that is just a distraction. They know exactly, what they are doing behind the scene. So they got to put stuff that we love. We love the bug dance. We love to sit there and be entertained. Come out of her and let's sit there and be who God called us to be, and that's real talk. So, guys, you all be blessed and enjoy the rest of your day. I've only been here an hour, and I'm gonna stay an hour, so I'm about to go ahead and close it out. Enjoy the rest of your day, and know that everything that you do it to glorify God and not man, and that's real talk. So, you all be blessed. Stylist Jill says, "A good lie I can say here all day." Thank you very much for staying with this conversation and this type of content. Thank you, Lady D. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, sit there and say, when one or two together, he said that I am in the midst of it all. Thank you, Lord. Yes. And also, before I close out, I want to go ahead and show you this. I know it's something I wanted to go show you. I want you to go ahead and show you this right here. This right here is all of the towns. You remember the massacres, how they sat there and they did some detestable things to our people, the black massacres, all the towns in the United States. You see Chicago, 1990, how when we were coming together and they're sitting there saying, you guys need to sit there and start doing for yourselves. You guys are lazy. No, we're not lazy. We did for ourselves. We didn't just, build Wall Street. We build for ourselves in all different countries. It's just that you guys were so jealous, didn't want to see us rise, where you went ahead and you tore it down. Every time we build something, they think that they are entitled. But all this right here, I want you guys to look at this right here. Look and study, guys. Study this right here. Study all of the black massacres. God sat there and say, your time is up. The blood had reached the highest heavens. The blood of Abel is still crying out of the grave. You about to see. God sat there and come see about his people. Chicago, 1919. Springfield, 1808. Detroit, 1943. All of this right here was where our people was trying to build in their own community. And those demons came and they sat there and destroyed. Like I said, we are now in what we call the book of Revelation. The book of Revelation, where this Joshua generation is about to wake up and say, enough is enough. You think that we're going to move because you tell us to move? Those days are over with. We're going to make sure we pray for Carmelo Anthony and his family. Protect him, cover him. Because like I said, enough is enough. Tussle, Oklahoma, 1921. Memphis, 1866. Wilmington, Philadelphia, Washington, 1990. Clinton, 1876. Right here, Rosewood, 1923. St. Bernard Parish, 1868. Opelousas, 1668. Oh, that's right there in Louisiana. Louisiana. Got so much blood on their hands. The chickens are coming home to roost. Make sure you guys study this map. Study that map, guys, because their sins has reached the highest heaven. This is a Joshua generation. This is a valley of dry bones that God is about to call forth the north, the east, the south, and the west, the winds to breathe new life into those dry bones. We going to rise up. We going to rise up and get back into our right position. Trust me. Scholar says, I'm always talking to the people in Detroit about the 1943 race riot. When they came in, Detroit had over 300 black businesses that black folks owned, and they burned them down because they wanted to see us. They wanted to see us to depend on them as they daddy, but the black man is daddy. He's the creator of all humanity. And this is nothing to be racist. This all is for educational purpose only. The black man is daddy. He's the creator of all humanity. It's like magic when a black woman and a black man together, they can make from the darkest of chocolates to the whitest baby. No other race can do that because the black man is magic. And he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. So guys, I am out. Might come on maybe tomorrow, but I love it. And I am not changing. I don't give a care. But God said he would never, ever have me in here by myself. This is where I should be. And that's real talk, unapologetic.
With all of them around, you scared to do. I'm not. As long as you joking, now in for me. I ain't got it. My bitch, give me to it.